declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
It's not true. It doesn't matter what's true. It matters the story they tell when you're gone.
I keep on pushing down my gypsy road.
All right, everybody. Since I know we're talking about tarot cards and magic, I decided to wear my Jedi robe.
You look like a Sith.
This is technically it's a Jedi Sith robe.
I don't have a problem with that. Just so you know.
I mean, if you want me to go full, here's a lightsaber.
Don't do lightsaber gloating. Don't gloat because you have a lightsaber. Okay.
You just got out of the shower? I mean, what is this?
Well, since we're talking about magic cards and stuff, and I thought I'll get ready for it. I thought I get in. It's magic about cards. It's about the energy. It's about the magic. It's about the. I gotta have the energy flow with me, Bob. It's gotta flow.
No, that's a nice robe. It's quality. I saw it in your closet when I was visiting. That's a quality. That's like the real thing.
Yeah.
It's made of the real thick material. And I'm like, that is an actual monk's robe. That's kind of cool.
It is. I won't tell you how much it cost.
Well, I can imagine.
And the thing is, it's too hot, so I'm not wearing it.
Well, it's cold in space, for God's sake.
Yes.
Have you ever been to Hoth, for God's sake?
Well, everybody,
I am that kind of geek.
I was talking to Cynthia behind the scenes. I was telling her how everybody's doing the show tonight. I mean, everybody, Bob, that we know, all having live shows. I mean, a live show. I'm like, damn. Connor is actually on a live show right now. He's a guest appearance on a Dr. Andrew channel.
Well, good for him, man. He's always moving up. We don't mind. We encourage it. I was like, absolutely. We don't take offense. Go do it. Mingle. He's a great guy.
Connor's everywhere. He's so animated. He's a great guest for anybody to have on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Bob says, if you don't have a lot to have on a show, just invite him on.
Show's done.
And he'll finish it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Go. Oracle's Beyond's here. You know them, boss. I was just chatting with her on Sasquatch South Florida channel. Matt is having an amazing show, which I learned a lot of stuff about what Matt has gone through his personal life and how Bigfoot community has helped him. I mean, it's just an amazing show. Sandra Piper, Scott FC, Melissa Nicole, Judah Wheeler. I see a lot of great people. You guys, Donnie Staten. Donnie's here. If I missed some of you guys, I'm sorry. I apologize. But guys, this is awesome. That's Cynthia, Purgatory Paranormal of New York.
Purgatory.
You guys, Purgatory. My fault. You guys have never seen her channel.
You know what? I'm going to change my name because that's how Eric always says it. I am Purgatory Paranormal. Hello.
Just a disclaimer, everybody knows out there, everybody knows the history. Eric was born deaf, or he was born deaf, but he was deaf for a very long time and he got his hearing back. So that's actually how Eric probably heard it his entire
You know what?
I stopped correcting him years ago.
It's a tongue twister. It's a tongue twister. What can I tell you? Pony. They call me Purg Pony. Call me Purg Pony. It's not a problem. I think it's right here behind me. Purg Pony.
There you go.
It's easy peasy. And I think my friend Tangi's coming up, waiting for her to get her laptop going.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Cool.
Hey, guys,
you got to meet Tangi. If you want to know about cards and readings of all kinds, you have to meet Tangi.
I want to know about cards. See?
Well, what do you got? What do you got?
I got my tarot cards right here.
Wow.
It says the original tarot cards, which I don't.
Oh, thank God you got the original.
This is the original.
Yeah, those are the original.
Yes, Tangi, come up. Come on up.
I have the link if you want me to come.
I sent her the link.
Okay.
And I sent it to my friend Sarah too. I just don't know where she is, but if she can, she'll come up. And they do readings together often, and they're very good because they do it in tandem, and it's wonderful. Tangi will tell you all about how she does her readings. You will enjoy it. But yeah, the original is the Rider-Waite tarot cards. I have not done tarot, but I bought this deck of tarot cards because the meaning of each card is on the card. See all those words?
And
that may be a good way to learn if you're just starting out. It's the standard, it's the Rider-Waite deck, but each card has the meanings on it, both reverse and obverse.
That is exactly what I want to talk about tonight, because actually the first time I have actually been involved in a reading, people in the chat, about a year ago, I discovered Cynthia's channel, and she was actually, I think she's ready. I see her on the bottom. Let me see here. There she is. So about a year ago, I was scrolling through the channel, and I found Cynthia's channel, and she was doing readings. And she actually did a reading for me. And this is like over a year ago.
Oh, wow.
It was a year ago. And I'm like, wow, this woman is just wonderful. You're kind. It's like the energy is just so, you're so kind. I'm
you're very sweet.
You on the channel, but I'm always like, well, Bob, we're kind of, we might not be everybody's cup of tea. And I don't want her to think we're crazy or wacko. So I waited.
Again, disclaimer. Now, Eric and I did not have a mother growing up. We were raised by men. It's like something you'd see in a cartoon with that guy that had the propane tanks. They stood in the alley all the time with their beers. I can't. King of the Hill. We were raised that way. So when we say things, she's a good woman, and people were like, "What did he just say?" Like, no, that's how we were raised. We don't know any better. Don't hate us for what we
You ever talk like Boom Harry? You ever talk like that? You don't know what you're saying. You just kind of
Yeah. I always had to, just so we don't lose people. I always put a disclaimer. That's how we talk. We do apologize. We were not raised with a gal in the house.
It's really all right. And I've never actually watched the show you're referring to, so I've heard of it.
For shame.
I don't watch TV.
Cotton is my favorite character.
I don't watch TV. But anyway, this is Tangi, you guys. My good friend Tangi. And she does readings. This is the person to talk to because it's not just cards.
I do third eye readings.
She does third eye readings. Wow. She does card readings. She does trinkets. She also has something you can tell them about your Bibliomantica. But any questions you have, throw them at her because you're going to get the right answers.
Well, let's start from the beginning then. Let's start scratch from the beginning. Okay. So when I saw Cynthia's show reading cards, first thought of my mind is, what is the card for in the first place? Is it for something in the past? Is it something in the present? Or is it something in the future? So like Tanny, if I see somebody doing a card show, what's the basic card? What's it for?
Go for it, Tangy.
And thanks for having me up here, you guys. There's different kinds of tools, divination tools that readers can use. Now, there's different kinds of readers. There's just tarot readers that are people who are very scholared in tarot reading. There's strictly dowsing, people that use dowsing rods or just pendulums or tune into the energy of crystals. I'm a psychic medium, intuitive, empathic, sensitive, all the clairs, alien, unicorn, blah, blah, blah. So I've always been connected when I had a being show up when I was around 3 or 4 years old, I've always been connected to the unseen. So everybody's psychic, everybody has intuition, but not everybody implements it or uses it for their daily lives. So when I do readings, I ask people to send their energy or question to themselves when they're, wherever they are. Don't type in questions in the chat, and send it to me, to my third eye, giving their guides permission to talk to my guides. And then they say sent. And then that's the consent. That's the, okay, I can take over. My guides can talk to me. And I call them invisibles. And your guides can be anything. They could be ancestors, loved ones, angels, aliens, fae, whatever you believe in and whatever you're not really aware of, but you feel comfortable with, and you always know it's around you, that's your team. And so I first start off with the energy, and I do the channeling. I could, for example, Cynthia could say, okay, I sent. I'll say, thank you. Got it. I'll chakras align, sending white light. And then I'll go into the reading. And for example, I could say, well, I'm all of a sudden feeling like my jaw is really hurting. And then I'll go into what the guides want me to say. And then I'll pull some cards. Now the cards are basically just visuals to show the reader, show the querent, and to convey through symbols and something tangible. If I tell you about a unicorn lip gloss, you can only use your imagination so much. But if I show you a unicorn lip balm, and I take off and I show you it's a lip balm, you're going, oh, okay, I get it. That's a unicorn lip balm. So that's what I use the cards. I made my own books.
But is it a luck of the draw? Like if I ask you to give me a card, or is there like the person needs to sense what kind of card I'm going to pull out of the deck for you, or is it like luck of a draw?
No, it's basically I can only speak for me personally. Okay. First I go into the energy, and when I'm done with it, I send it back to the person and I close the gate safe and sound. It's like you're giving me permission to do it. So it's like you give me permission to read your letter. I read your letter and then I give it back to you when I'm done. So during that time of the exchange of energy, the guides are basically, they take over. So I shuffle the cards. Say I'm using the cards, which I actually don't have a deck right. Oh, there I do. I shuffle the cards. I'll grab them.
Brand new Amazon.
He just got a new set.
Yay! Well, these are oracle cards.
Yeah.
The love oracle cards. So I'll say, okay, I'm shuffling, and then when I hear I can hear, see, smell, taste, all the clairs. When they tell me to stop, I'll say, okay, what does Eric need to know right now? Boom. All right, you got Albert Einstein. That's your what's connecting with your energy right now.
Cool.
Albert says objects in a mirror are closer than they appear. The distance between two objects is always relative. The simplest things are sometimes the most complex.
Ooh.
And so that's what you're connecting with or need to hear.
Okay.
Sometimes the guides want to talk about themselves. And the whole reading could be just about who the guide is, because you need to know who you always have many guides. It's like friends. You know your friends. But what if you don't know about a friend's friend that wants to talk to you? Mm-hmm. And that friend is whispering in my ear, about them. And I'm telling you what the friend is saying. Then you're going to get to know who that friend's friend is, kind of thing. So sometimes the guys want to talk about themselves. Sometimes they just want to tell you something simple like, hey, don't forget to floss before you go to bed. Wow. And other times it's really deep. Mm. And they bring up stuff that the person is aware of, or what their next move needs to be, or something you didn't even think of that you need to be aware of. Like, for example, I did a reading for a woman not too long ago who didn't know how to get some extra money for her move. And I kept hearing stuff that the guides were saying. So I reiterated, mostly verbatim. Sometimes my guides get a little colorful, so I have to tone down the language a bit. But I explained to her, the guides are talking about something about your bank and an insurance, and there's a form and whatever. A few days later, she confirmed to me that she completely forgot about something. She had access to money. She got the money and it was perfect to move with. So it's sometimes it's like a friend or relative is saying, well, I can see stuff you can't see. So, hey, what about this? And you're like, oh, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Sometimes it's a mundane message.
Right.
But we in this world now, we're always around people. We never spend quiet time. And what I like about the readings is
Never
it's
alone.
time. We're never alone. And so they laugh at me because I spend my evenings looking for live cams on YouTube. And last night I was watching all these beautiful birds around a watering hole in Namibia, and they were making this sound, this krrr, krrr, and I just sat there for literally a half hour, and it was zen-like. And the readings to me are like that. Even if it's a mundane message, it's a moment for you to just reflect and be quiet. Even if it's, don't forget you left your keys in the backyard,
Right.
and then that somebody is taking the time to think about you, to try to get messages for you, to spend a few minutes for you, as opposed to the cacophony of the world that we all live in. We just don't take the time. That's part of what I like about the readings.
I actually got a reading today. I went to a channel called Gemma Jade.
Oh, Gemma Jade, yeah.
I went to Gemma Jade, and she saw me in there. She goes, "I'm going to pull a card right now for you." So I'm like, "Wow, thank you." I didn't even ask for a card. She's like, "I'm going to pull a card for you."
But that'll happen. She sensed that she should pull a card for you. It happens to Tangi. It happens to her more than me because I'm just a psychic sensitive, but she gets more like clairaudience and that kind of thing.
I get like the guides going, pull a card, like they're physically bugging me. Poke, 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 poke. Okay, fine. Right. Do you want a card?
Right.
Well, her card is predicting the future in a way, because her card, she was saying in about a couple of weeks, you're going to meet like a soulmate, not like a wife and stuff, because I've been married for 25 years, but you're going to meet a soulmate that's going to change something for you going forward. Is it something on the show? I don't, she doesn't know, but she says I'm going to meet somebody who's going to have a good change on my life. And I'm like, wow, I'm ready for that.
Wow.
A lot of the times the guides want to do readings for people to let you know the new people coming into your life, to make sure that your mind and or schedule is open enough to accept something new coming in. Right. If you have a heads up that someone's coming in, you're more apt to, be open to that, as opposed to someone just showing up at your door and going, "Hi, I'm your new friend." But if you're
How you
doing about it,
are you my friend? Are you my
like,
friend? Are you doing?
I was expecting you. Yeah.
Now, because
I
mean, joking aside, not anybody. Anybody could buy a set of cards.
Yes.
You have Amazon, anybody can buy a set of cards. But just because I bought a card, if I'm not like feeling the energy of believing in it, I'm not going to get the same result as if I'm going in like YouTube, who know the cards, who have the energy, who really truly is. I'm not saying into it more than me, but this better than I do. So I would probably get a better response from you than somebody getting a reading from me.
But intuit is part of it, because you want somebody that, first of all, cares enough to do a reading for you, and then has that intuition and that insight and that inspiration. So I always say it's the 3 eyes. It's not just somebody like, "Oh, I bought some cards. Let's see what this one says. Oh, horse, you got horse. Oh, you're going to get a horse." You got to start somewhere, though. You got to start somewhere. But it is, once, like, I don't do them a lot anymore, and I hope to do more with Tangi and Sarah, because it's work. Like, when they're done, they're tired. They're tired. Because it's draining.
Because Cynthia, when you did one for me a year ago, you picked out the card, but then you also had a book. It's like you read the card, and I think you looked into the book. I'm like, so then I'm thinking, wow, you got to have cards and a book? Right. Or is it just with that set of cards?
Well, a lot of the Oracle decks come with a book, and whoever designed the deck has given their interpretation of each card.
And I respect the person who made the whatever divination tool I'm using. So I read the book, and usually the first few times I use it, I always say, this is a new deck. If it comes with the book, I'm going to read the book. And after, I let my own intuition kick in, and I listen to the guides, and I read it my way.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you should always trust your gut. If you feel you want to read the book, read the book. If you feel you want to go rogue, go rogue.
Right. I mean, it's just your interpretation. Now, I have so many decks like that with the books, but I have come to find that I prefer doing the intuitive readings, which means I have decks that are just like this deck. This deck is in a nondescript box, but it's I'll show you a couple of the cards. This is the Arthur Rackham deck. And basically each card, and I can probably show you better. Hang on a second. If I go to my, let me see if my thing will go to my card camera. Okay,
I don't know if I want to open up my deck because I didn't know my daughter has a deck. My daughter's got a professional, better looking deck than this.
So I'm not sure if you can. I don't know if you can see this. Okay, so this is the Arthur Rackham deck. So the Arthur Rackham deck, the artwork is very old that they used or based on something very old. But each one, this card just says guardianship, protection of the, I can't actually see what it says, protection of the vulnerable. So this card would come up and then I would use my intuition with this card. Let's say I've had that card and then this card would come up with it, coercion. Oh, well, something negative is going on. Is there someone in your life that's trying to coerce you or get you to do something you don't want to do, or someone is trying to coerce someone that you care about and you need to watch out for them. Wow. So you see, and this is how you would interpret a reading depending on who you're doing the reading for and the circumstances.
Cynthia, Melissa Nicole in the chat wrote, I never had a real in-depth reading. I will love one, but as far as her pulling a card and intently elaborating on it, it's amazing. But let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. So like right now you can see me and I can see you. So correct. You and I, you could probably, I don't know if it what I mean is it more personal and stronger to do a card reading when you can see me than somebody in the chat that you can't see, that you
Not
can't?
For me.
No?
The less I know, the better.
Okay.
They
don't have to be in the same room with you then. They don't have to be.
No, because I used to do them originally in person when I was younger, all the way up until.
See, this is fascinating. I'm learning a lot.
Years
I mean,
ago.
I love it.
And then I would do them electronically through email, and I would go by reference only. So people I read for would give out, my name and email to people who I would get. And sometimes email, you don't know what the gender is, so it doesn't matter. I don't need to know. I'd say, don't tell me anything. The less you tell me, the better. Mm-hmm. Cool. And then they'd want to tell me their name, and I'm like, oh, we should do that because I want to be able, my guides, to tell you stuff. Mm-hmm. And come up with your name or come up with info so you know that you can trust what your guides are conveying to my guides through me to you. And I've had a few people, personally, I like it when someone gets a reading and then they can tell me whatever they want when I'm done the reading. Or, they could just say thank you. They don't have to say anything, but I love it when they say, well, it resonated. And that was helpful. Thank you. But I found out there was one guy I did a reading for years ago through a friend. He didn't tell me anything. I only know his first name. And I accidentally, on purpose, saw an email from the guy I was dating at the time. It was his friend. I saw it and I thought it was a different email and I thought it was for me. So I clicked on it and it was from the guy I read for. And he said, don't tell your girlfriend, but she was 110% bang on. There's no way she would have ever known any of this stuff. And just reading that, even though I felt guilty, but it was okay. I didn't mean to, honestly, I didn't mean to. I was halfway through and I went, maybe I shouldn't be reading this, too late. But that was validation for me, and my guides are going, see, you don't have to doubt yourself. You just go with what you want to say. For example, if you're holding, like psychometry, I do too. You're holding something of somebody's and you want to say pineapple. You don't know why you want to say pineapple.
That's right.
You don't have to understand the message. You're just the messenger. If your guides are telling you or something's telling you, your intuition's screaming, say pineapple, say it. And then you're thinking, oh, this is ridiculous. This is not a reading. And then the person you're reading for is thinking, oh my God, pineapple's my safe word or my special code. I told my grandpa when he died if he came through to say pineapple. So
you just don't know. Yeah.
Go with that first. Just just verbal diarrhea what you want to say, and never question yourself. Don't doubt yourself, because the more you spew out what you think you should say is what you're supposed to say.
But is there a bad card in one of these, like an evil card?
No.
I mean, are they all meant to be medium and good?
Well, look at your drawer in your kitchen full of utensils. Is there anything in there that's really evil or super dangerous? And if it was, you wouldn't really have it in there. You would use every instrument, every utensil in that drawer has a purpose.
Okay.
You may not always use the little corn things you put at the end of corn, but you're going to keep them for the one day when you need those. Because you never know when you're going to need those.
Those are great.
Right? So it's like the cards.
Everybody always says the tower card is bad. We all know that.
It's
beginnings of it.
The tower card always comes up,
right? Like Amber Paraworld, one of our shows, she did a reading for me after a show, not with cards. She read and saw something. So Tana, do you need cards, or can you just not even use cards and sense?
Yeah.
And Tangi doesn't.
Trusted my team since I was 3 or 4 years old, and I saw the angel, or I call it aliens, but people can call them whatever they want. The alien angel came when I was young and connected with me, and from then on, because I guess I was so young, I didn't have any fear. So paranormal is my everyday life, is normal for me. I see weird stuff all the time. That's normal for me. I see people's auras. I hear people talking. I smell stuff. I see things like the movie Nicolas Cage was in, Next. I see things, 2 minutes, or 2 weeks before they happen.
God.
I hate that. Me.
That is, I don't see auras, but all the rest of it, I've seen.
Do you hate that? I'm just saying, like, you're in public. Do people? I don't know if you show your gifts while you're in public. I don't know if you try to hide it, or you see somebody, you want to give them a message. But do you feel like people treat you the same or different on the abilities that you have?
It's always the same. I'm just me. I'm just goofy. If Jim Carrey and Robin Williams had a child, it would be me.
Tangi's just Tangi. But I know what you're talking about, because most of my life have been very quiet about it, because you don't want people to think you're a loony.
Yeah.
I'm loony and I'm proud. Hey.
I mean, we all talked about that. It's like talking about Bigfoot out in the community, or talking paranormal, UFOs.
But you know what's helped?
One of those words, people look at you like, "Oh my God, let's get out of here."
It's awful to say.
If you're confident enough, are you confident enough in, say, your egg omelet cooking skills? If you're confident enough in yourself, it doesn't matter if someone says these eggs suck. If you know they're good. Well, you know you're the best omelet maker on the planet. You're going to believe in yourself. You're not going to care what anybody thinks.
Well, we have to give credit to, unfortunately, Hollywood, because what brought us out of the shadows is
Charmed.
TV shows. I mean, these paranormal TV shows became so popular. Now we go to a party and I'm just waiting for my husband to be, you know what my wife does? And it's like, oh, we're off to the races. And then all of a sudden, everybody there wants to tell me about their house and their experiences, and they want to ask me questions. And that's very different for me. Now, I'm not a young person. I'm 61 years old. Okay. I've had a lot.
Don't look it.
Thank you. Right. I have had a lot of lifetime where I have kept it to myself. So it's very different now. And I do the cringe. I'm like, oh, here it comes. I can see it when he's like getting up to bat. He's like, hey, I try to push him into a closet, but it always comes out.
I know exactly what you're both saying. Bob and I say all the time on the show, like a lot of my breaking news will say, people might think this is bad press, this show or this news. But I'm like, no, it's not, because some people might be seeing that saying, wow, I want to investigate that. Exactly. Even if somebody's making fun of something. Right. Somebody's looking at that like, what? I kind of had experience just like that. I'm going to look into it. But like they say, bad publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Well, there's just a little bit of bad. Some can be bad, but most of it isn't. And, like I said on one of your recent live streams, people think, oh, there can't be a Bigfoot. What are you talking about? When did we first discover the giant apes? because it wasn't
Yeah,
that long
right around the
ago.
corner.
It wasn't
We just
right. Historically,
watches.
it's yesterday.
I
Okay.
love it.
It's like, come on, people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in everything because I've seen. Here's the
Well-
thing: those who believe in magic will see it. Even if you're a skeptic, if you just keep an open mind,
Right.
I'm sure if you go back in your memory, and if you could visually see your life on a screen, you could look at things and say, you know what, I forgot that I blocked out that. Or, I saw something float across the room. I forgot I blocked it out because I was so scared. But if you go back and think, you've actually experienced a lot of things. It's just how you interpret them.
Yeah. And I always say it's not what you believe. It's what you believe might be possible. If you're willing to believe that something might be possible, that's cool. If you want to remain blissfully unaware, like me with aliens, I don't say there are no aliens. I say I hope there are no aliens because there's no way to be dumber than us. Okay,
everywhere.
They're not going to be stupid. If they can get here and we can't get there, they're smarter than us. So that's
perfect. Hey, I always say I don't believe in everything myself, but I'm open-minded to everything.
Exactly. What might be possible.
I don't believe in anything at 100% unless something has happened to me personally. Like if Bigfoot shook my hand, I can say it's 100%. For now, he's 80%. But I'm open-minded that one day I will get 100%, and that's fine.
He's Schrodinger's cat. If you know anything about quantum physics, he's Schrodinger's cat. He's the cat in the box with the toxic substance. He exists. He doesn't exist. It hasn't been proven. Thus, he exists because he's in both states. He exists and he doesn't exist until it's proven. So it's all there until it's been proven one way or the other. None of it has been. So.
Yeah. I'm a big believer in magic.
There's definitely aliens, and there's somebody here. Well, I've seen 2 UFOs. They exist. Andrew has seen 2 UFOs.
I've seen them.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a diehard.
Alien photos. I showed Cynthia, but she's like, no, I don't want to see that.
You should show him those photos. Those
you want to see my alien friends?
Yeah.
Oh, show him. These are actual photos she took.
Let's see him.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And they worry me because
this channel is about sharing. We never tell anybody that they have to believe.
No, I want to see it. Yeah.
This channel is about
I've
sharing.
seen too many weird things now. I debunk, and all of a sudden I'm inundated with all this paranormal stuff. I just stopped, man. I just can't be fucking. I was doing the 13s with Eric. I'm seeing the numbers constantly, no matter what I'm doing. I was trying to convince Eric that I'm not crazy. All of a sudden, Eric was just flooded with the number 13, and he pulls out a picture of himself in his jersey. He knows his jersey number, and he's got 2 separate pictures. One of them with a 13 jersey, which he never wore before, and then his regular jersey Eric remembers. And then he goes, and then all of a sudden you find one of our both favorite movies as a kid growing up was Meatballs, and there he is. There he is standing there with a 13 T-shirt, and during one of the scenes,
a red sweater in the middle of the summer.
Eric was flooded. And this all happened in a short period of time. He was just like, I can't stop with the 13.
I wonder why.
The synchronicities. It's like if you go into your YouTube and you type in something you normally don't, say like a cat grooming a puppy.
Mm-hmm.
And then all that keeps coming and flooded into your feed is cats grooming puppies. Because you've opened it, you've said to the universe, okay,
right.
I'm open to this. And then it just keeps giving it to you.
Yeah.
And then you see the synchronicities. Sometimes until you get it, you're like, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
That's right.
I got it.
That's right.
See it. And then you see it, you go, fine. And then it calms down.
But the way I'm afraid of aliens, I'm afraid of aliens. A lot of people are afraid of the paranormal. They don't want to see ghosts. They don't want to, and I don't fault anybody for that. Look, can you see that? She literally took this picture over your shoulder, right?
So this is, I call him Gordon. He's one of my guides.
I see it there.
Yeah, that's half. So what I did was my daughter and I in February 2008, we had seen UFOs. We were living in Orillia, Ontario, Canada at the time. There were UFOs floating around the town, the cigar ones, the summer before in 2007. So I was sending out telepathic messages. Only the good shall pass. Any good aliens, no probing, come by. So then a few months later, in February of 2008, my daughter and I she was 15. We're both highly psychic, open energy. One day she says to me at night, I want to go outside and take pictures of orbs. I'm like, okay, that's random. Let's do it. So I told her, being a professional photographer's daughter, I said to her, when you take your photo, hold your breath. Because not only is it wintertime, but the steam that comes out of your mouth is going to create stuff. Yeah. Close your orifices, I told her. She's like, okay. So she took a shot and then I took a shot. Just as I was going in, I said, thank you. We got some great orb pictures. We saw some ghost cats and funky things. And I went in with the little camera and I said, thanks, I'm going to go in. Bye. Click. Like a sneak little thing. Yeah. But they weren't expecting it. So if I took a flash to you and you weren't expecting it and you go, okay, bye. And I go, flash. And you'd go, and I caught half of that image.
You get that.
And his mouth is open. He's like, damn it. Yeah. You got me with the flash, lady.
Wow.
And then this is the one I call jelly. Now these are the way I took them. But if I what do you call it when you saturate it and it's like you pull out the color, you'll see that's his spine, and the T shape is his shoulders. And I'm sorry you can't see it. He's like this. He's like that. And he's very tall because behind him is the center of a trunk of a tree that's over 40, 50 feet tall.
Wow.
So he was over 7 feet.
Oh, we're in trouble.
Wow. God, I wish you could send it to Eric and we could post the whole thing. Yeah, we could put the whole thing up for people to see.
Sure. I put it online 4 years ago and then I took it off. And usually it's 50-50. People like it or they hate it.
Do you want me to send her want me to send you your email? All right, hang on. I have to go back and forth here and grab your email. So
when Bob was talking about 13s, this is the video that we actually put together with, you can see a picture of Meatballs and the movie Hoosiers.
Oh, wow.
Both wearing 13. And the thing is, the movie Hoosiers is based on a real team back in that year, and nobody on that team wore 13. All of a sudden, this granny shot that was a big part of the movie. A 13 just appeared, and this red sweater was a brand new sweater, 13. You guys can see there. And in the whole movie, he wears Hawaii shirts. In the middle of a wiener contest, everybody's wearing T-shirts, but for whatever reason, he's wearing a brand new red sweater. Not just he's wearing a red sweater with 13 on it. So we actually made a video about the 13s. It's just.
It's weird.
I'm living in the Mandela effect. Constantly loops are changing. I have to adjust to it constantly. I'm like, oh, it's not that way. Oh, I'm in another loop again. So I go with it.
Yeah. I had a hard time today. I know this sounds stupid. I know this. When I was a kid, Eric's a kid, I'm a big fan of MacGyver. I'm a MacGyver diehard fan. I carry myself a pocket knife religiously. I carry this thing. I almost lost it several times at the airport, but I managed to get it back.
Oh, wow.
But anyway, and I know his knife, and I know what he carried, and I know his favorite. I know everything I know about it. And he carried what they call the Tinker. Now it's called just Tinker, but the is gone. But anyway, that's not unnormal now. Anyway, so I was looking at his pocket knife, and I have the same one, and I always use. This is the one he had, but it's not anymore. And I go, what's what? What's going on? Yeah. So I look at his pocket knife, and he has a Phillips. Now, where this is a corkscrew, and this is the famous corkscrew. What do we do with it? Open wine. I love this one, but this part isn't on his anymore. On his, it's an actual Phillips head. It's a Phillips head, which they come now with the Phillips heads, and they substitute for this. But it was not that way in the 80s. I know these things. Yeah. I know these knives, and there was no Phillips head, solid Phillips head. It was the damn corkscrew on every goddamn one of these things all the way through. There was never a never a Phillips head. And so I see his favorite one, the Tinker, and it has a Phillips head. I said, no. No.
Unless it's a
No, there's
knockoff.
Oh no! And I remember the series, and I remember because I got the one he had. He always carried, and he always had the corkscrew in it. I was like, no, he had the corkscrew. Where the hell is the corkscrew? It's this Phillips piece, and he's doing projects, and I'm like, no, man, no. Anyway, I experienced that today. I was having a rough time with it. I was researching going through MacGyver stuff. I'm like, the just tinker. It's tinker, which is a sign that something's changed, and then the knife actually has a Phillips head instead of the corkscrew. And I said, "Oh no." Anyway, throw that in there.
Yeah. Bernstein, Bernstein.
Amber's Paranormal. Let me just tell you, the site you just saw, Amber, all that Medela you saw is on my every breaking news. Then I take that clip and I just move it over to this other channel, just all the Medelas. So if people are into it, they can go to this one channel. So you can watch it all on my main channel. I just take some clips out and move it to another channel, Amber. That's what that is.
I didn't know you did that. Oh, wow.
Yeah, sometimes some people are into it. A lot of people are not. That's why it's the last segment of that show. A lot of people don't care about it, but people who do. Then I take that segment and I just cut it down and move it to just a pure Medela channel.
I didn't know you had another channel. What's it called?
That one's actually called the Mandela Effect channel.
Oh, okay.
The Mandela Effect, yeah.
That's great. It's nothing new. It's just the clips that I do on my breaking news.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm 100% affected because I work at 3 different museums. I'm a museum guy and archaeologist, and so I do nothing but these things. I know about the anatomy, and all of a sudden I'm thrown into a brand new world. And I work at an aerospace museum, and I watched the whole.
Oh my God.
We shifted. I worked on the exhibits, and I worked on the universe. So there's a big, huge, we're talking monster mural of the universe. And it was always a section that says, "We are here." So people that look up could see it. And I take this large wand with feathers, and I have to constantly, with a lift, clean it all because it's black. But the huge, beautiful universe, the Museum of Flight. And Sagittarius is what we were taught in literature, where we're from. And it says, "You are here." And then all of a sudden, one day, it's 2016. I'm in weird shock, and I'm walking up. I look, and we are here is now on the other side of the universe in Orion's Spur, and I was like, "Oh my God, we shifted to a new freaking place."
We moved.
And I couldn't. I've been nuts.
What loop am I in today? Okay,
that is so cool, though. I wanted to be an archaeologist when I was growing up. I wanted so badly, and when I was a little girl, the King Tut exhibition came to the Museum of Natural History in New York City, which is one of my favorite places on the planet. Yeah. And it was back in the 60s when you could touch stuff. And I started from then on for years. I studied ancient Egypt. My favorite thing when I was 5 years old, I didn't have toys. I had 3 sets of encyclopedias. Those were my they were my Google. If someone said something to me, little me, and I was like,
that was Google.
What's that? I would run into my room and I would check. There was a science set and 2 regular sets of encyclopedias. And I'd be like, oh, okay. All right. Then I'd be good to go. And I was a weird kid, but I wanted to be an archaeologist, something awful, but I didn't take it seriously enough. And my parents were like, you want to be what?
Yeah, there's no money to be made unless you're like a professor and you're tenure somewhere. Yeah. Pretty much you'll be working in a museum dusting things. I mean, it's just like we were where I worked at museums, people went to school for archaeology, but they were working with artifacts restorations or basically janitors with cleaning artifacts. That's what
so I'm probably better off, but that was the dream. That was the dream.
Yeah, there was no running from a bunch of natives. Actually, I was confronted by a bunch of gorillas, which are natives, but not the hairy gorillas. In East Timor, Indonesia, they were pretty hostile. They were marching in militias with machetes, and I'm like, oh God, they're gonna kill us, man. They're gonna kill us, man.
Sounds like I'm
Put down the bones. Put down the ancestral bones. They're going to kill us.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to touch anything.
Wow. The scientists team back in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, went to the Pygmy Village for the first time. Pygmy Village they never saw. white man, and they thought they were gods, and they gave them a Walkman, and then they took the famous was it National Geographic photos with the Pygmy Village people with the headphones and the Walkmans on.
Oh my God!
And that was their first time, dealing with. So it was
somehow that makes me a little sad.
So bring a Walkman next time you go to where you go. Right.
Actually, it's I don't like to say this on camera. It's tobacco. You got to bring cartons of tobacco, scotch preferably, because they don't like tequila in those other places. Whiskey, lots of whiskey, lots of tobacco, and you do a lot of more.
Sounds like my trip to Leningrad back in the 80s. Oh my God.
It's the same.
It was the same thing. We brought Marlboro in the red box.
Marlboro, yes, correct.
Marlboro in the red box. Oh yeah, into Leningrad.
Marlboro.
It was before the Iron Curtain came down that I went in, and was my father's idea. Yeah, we a whole bunch of 50 boxes of Marlboros in the
Marlboro. Yes, you'll be safe if you have cigarettes.
Unlike we're going to Siberia, we're going to end up in Siberia. You're going to get a small sent to Siberia.
Here's a bottle.
It was a hell of a trip.
Good for you. That sounds like fun though.
Oh,
yeah. It's a good story because I survived it. I got back out. Yeah, no, it was a little scary.
What didn't kill you makes you stronger.
Cigarettes and alcohol saved your life.
Yes,
yeah. Let me ask you about crystal balls. Some people have crystal balls, and is a crystal ball like a crystal or something? Do crystal balls really work, in your opinion?
Yeah, for me, I use crystals and crystal balls. There she is. That's Yvette Celeste is her name. She's sitting in her little cradle. She has her mother of pearl necklace on her. And people, remember, if you get a crystal ball or anything clear like that, never put it near the window where the sunlight can come through, because they can start fires, because they're like magnifiers. Just FYI. Yeah. It came with the warning label that said that. Never stick this crystal ball.
Is there a certain kind of a crystal ball? Is there a certain kind of material that's supposed to work better than others?
Personally, for me, I speak for me. I went for the real crystal ball, and you got to look for deals because they can get really expensive, and you don't want to sell a kidney just to have a crystal ball. I got mine on sale a few years ago on Amazon, but you got to look and read the reviews. Do your research.
Yeah.
Go on Google. Go on everything that you can find. Ask around. Trust your gut. Is this what I should get?
Right.
And so I was drawn to it, and I knew that was the one. And I waited till the price went down like $100 cheaper, and then I got it.
They can be expensive.
And it works for me, and everybody reads differently. But do you know how like Nostradamus would have his bowl with liquid?
Yeah.
He had specific things to use to read. That's what I do with the crystal ball. This is a true story. I was walking with my son not too long ago, a few years ago. And I'm always telling my guides, let me see something magical. I'm open to everything. If it's good and it won't hurt us, I want to see it. So we were walking, and out of nowhere, I see this toy plastic pink. I love pink. They're from a game or something. I don't remember. They sell the stones. But it was sitting like this on a banister at a furniture store. They had a banister outside right near the sidewalk. And I went, my guides went look. And I went, what? And I saw that. And I went, oh my God, that's beautiful. It's not real, but it's a gift from the universe. So I took it home. I washed it. I cleansed it. I used bell sound waves to cleanse things, sometimes salt. And I look through this on my crystal ball, and I see images and things. It's the same as if you ask your dream, okay, I want to dream of what's going to happen this week. And you have a dream, and sometimes it's as it is prophetic and sometimes symbolic. Like you could dream of a giant apple eating people, but then you hear in the news that New York, the Big Apple, had a parade. So you got to figure it out. So 98.9% of the time, I see it exactly as it's going to be. And the other times I see symbology symbols or images or numbers. But my guides will I'll ask them like a friend. They don't know to help her, intervene unless you ask. And I'll say, what does this mean? I'm seeing a giant spaghetti monster image floating through the crystal ball. And they'll say, that's symbolic. You got to read into it, or that's really what you're going to see. And then I saw this spaghetti monster on a YouTube feed video in the sea.
Okay.
That spaghetti jellyfish.
Yeah.
That they discovered a few years ago, and everyone's like, what is that thing?
Oh,
and
that's
it's a type of jellyfish, but they call it the spaghetti monster.
Oh, that's funny.
That's fun. I had spaghetti for dinner tonight, and this is no joke.
It's no
What
joke.
goes in
I made
must
spaghetti
come out.
tonight.
The signs are everywhere.
Spaghetti.
Well,
So
I'll
you
show
have
my
a kaleidoscope.
food.
You could
Yes,
do,
I was going to say it's like a kaleidoscope when you're looking in a crystal ball and you're using something, or if you have smoke behind it and you're looking through something. That's how you divine, I think, with a crystal ball, and it's like looking in a kaleidoscope.
So basically, a crystal ball is like a
It's like a kaleidoscope. It's like a kaleidoscope, but
Yes.
Show that again.
So you can look, you can say, all right, what is my
yeah.
day going to be like tomorrow? And then you look and see, and don't question your brain. Just the first thing you see. What do you see?
Well, what does it bring to
I
mind?
see like
What
a
is it bringing
triangle.
It's a king on a
pyramid in
throne.
way.
It's a king on a throne.
Oh,
Lion's
what could
head.
that
Lion's
mean?
head.
Somebody
lion's
that had
head.
somebody with
Authority?
authority. Yes, somebody with authority.
There's a dude with a big
Or
white mustache.
your dog is going to steal your favorite couch seat, and you're not getting it back.
Because
Or
we
the
all know
shadow
the dog
position.
is king. So
Animals.
You guys don't want my dog. My dog has gas problems.
Yeah.
Oh, English bulldog. They just. Oh my god, they rip it up.
Yeah, we were in a car. We were in his truck. We were in his truck driving. I said, it was so bad. I said, you got to pull over, man. I'm going to throw up. I can't pull over here. You got to I'm going to throw up in your truck right now. He finally pulled over and I got out. I said, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
Do not get an English bulldog, people. They sting.
oh my god.
Well, he's addicted to dogs, or she's addicted to puppuccinos. You keep taking it to Starbucks. So the dog runs to the car and gets in the car. I'm like, oh, man, we're going to go down to Starbucks and have a nice, lovely taste of coffee. At the same time, we're going to smell this dog's rectum. I'm like, no, it takes the magic away from the coffee.
Yeah, dog farts do that.
Yeah, she does like her puppuccinos. I tell you that she does.
What's a
gives her gas.
puppuccino?
A puppuccino. When you go to Starbucks, you say, "Can I have a puppuccino?" They'll take a small little shot cup and they'll put a little bit of whipped cream in there, and you just give it to your dog to lick.
Oh my!
They have puppuccinos.
And my
now.
dog
That's
goes
insane.
crazy and it drives. My dog knows. It goes and has
No.
like it gets like it's on crack. I'm serious.
Well,
it's like it's on
It
crack.
is crack for dogs, yeah.
Sugar.
Puppuccinos now. Oh my God. I was like, really?
Wow.
Call it, man. This is Babylon. You got puppuccinos?
They have
More
better
you know.
gourmet animal food than they do for us humans in my town. The pet store has all the gourmet dog cookies that look like gourmet cakes and macarons
See
and
that?
cupcakes. And I'm like, I want it. He's like, no, that's for dogs. And I'm like, but I want to eat it. He's like, you could, but you won't like it.
You might not enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, they do that in England. Now, I couldn't figure out why we're off the subject. But anyway, I was in England, and they love their animals. They love their dogs. They love their cat. They love them more than any American I've ever seen. But you'd always see these little stands, and it says free. And it has dog food, but they're in the shape of like cakes, like sliced cake and cookies.
Yeah.
I got it.
Oh,
But these are for the dogs. And we stopped with Grandma, and I said, I don't understand. And I had to say, that everyone out there's like wondering, why would they? Why are they just giving away free these items for dogs? That's the question. I said, what? In America, nobody does that, man. But why are they doing it all over the place here in England? They say because they train their dogs. So their dog is in the window. The curtains are open, and the dog is not to bark and not to get restless at the window. And so you bring your dog up to the window. You bring your dog up to the window, or where the food is. You're feeding your dog, and that dog behind the window in the house doesn't get restless. It's training. They're training their dog.
Wow!
I said, oh,
wow! Look at that face.
That's her.
This is actually a Starbucks run.
Oh,
Aww.
She's waiting for her thing.
I can read her thoughts. She knows.
Look at you.
I'm gonna get my fix. My puppuccino.
Oh, did you give it to her? Hold on. Oh, did we give it to her? Hold on, my fault.
Oh my god, that is too funny. It's
waiting
too
for
funny.
a puppuccino.
Puppuccino.
Do they ever look at you like they're judging you, and you know your animals are judging you? You just know
Where
they are.
is my latte? I want my latte.
There it is. There it is.
Oh my god.
Puppuccino.
There's a song.
Look. Good
Oh.
Lord.
Oh.
Starbucks, and it's free, right? Erica's free, right?
It's free, yes.
It's just
Yeah.
And she just loves it. She knows it's Starbucks.
The more you know. I didn't even know that they did that.
Yes.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know if they do it around here.
Sorry, I had to show that.
You need
They're
to
not as
ask.
nice. They're not as nice in New York.
You should ask, and once they start, they won't be able to stop. Then you'll be bringing your dog over there all the time, getting puppuccinos.
I bet they don't do it here. But I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, you call it a puppuccino or a pup cup. It's
Oh my god.
Pup cup. I love that. Sounds like a cod piece, but I like it. Pup cup.
Yeah, pup cup.
God, please.
Pup cup.
And listen, I don't give my dog that much whipped cream. Just once in a while, we'll give her a little whipped cream as a treat. So I don't want people thinking that I'm fattening my dog up with all day whipped cream. It's just a little treat.
Let her enjoy it.
It's Seattle.
I put that video out, and somebody goes, "That is cruel to your dog. You should not be giving it whipped cream." Like, chill out.
It's Seattle,
Yes,
man.
But it's not like Cool Whip whipped cream. It's not that kind of whipped cream.
It's not gonna hurt them.
It's like a lot of the time it's just the froth. Sometimes, it's
not gonna hurt them.
Unless
mostly air.
Wrong.
Yeah, it's a lot of air.
Mostly air. Milk.
Let me ask you, let's get into this. When did you know exactly, like, there's something dumping? I could feel something. When did you realize that there's something different about you? I'm not saying you're different, but
Oh, I am.
We know.
Have you met me?
Now I have.
Now we have.
I embrace the woo. I do.
You had to meet Tangi.
I was 5 or 6. I know I was before 7, so I might have been 5.5 to just before 7, maybe 6. I saw Snap Crackle Pop cartoons at the end of my bed. And my parents did drugs because they were hippies when they were pregnant with me.
Our mom was a stripper, so we understand.
Right?
Honestly, I'm not lying.
In my DNA.
Tangi, tell them what your first name is.
Tangerine is my real first name.
That is her real name.
Hippie parent. I'm telling you. So I saw the Snap Crackle Pop. I always, ever since I saw The Being when I was 3 or 4, things didn't scare me. So when I saw the Snap Crackle Pop, I knew who they were. I loved the cartoons. I don't know if I manifested them or if they came to visit me, because one night I couldn't sleep. I was restless, maybe 11:30 at night. And I was, 6. Look at the end of my bed and I see, you know how when it's dark and you see maybe it's just me, but you see static electricity. I can see particles too, like in the sky. So you see static electricity, and then if you follow it and you have no fear, what are you gonna be scared of? If it wanted to eat your face, it would have done it already.
Right.
So I just looked at it. I'm like, what's that? And they morphed into Snap Crackle Pop, actual cartoons at the end of my bed.
Ooh.
That's why I really do believe in aliens, because they have the technology. We have the technology now that we didn't when I was 6. So if I time traveled or somebody time traveled with a holograph or a laptop back to, the 70s, you'd be like, wow, it's just technology. To me, I speak for me. So I wasn't scared of it. So when I saw it, it was fun. They were dancing at the end of my bed. They were talking to me. They weren't trying to eat me. It wasn't anything scary. So I embraced him. Mm-hmm. And then I always saw stuff. And I didn't know that other people couldn't see these things. So when I saw you know, a weird, grumpy guy at a restaurant with my dad. We were eating. I was 8 on my birthday. And I saw a weird, big, creepy looking guy staring at me while I was trying to eat my potato. And I'm a Taurus. I got mad and said, Dad, that weird man's staring at me and I don't like it. And he didn't say anything. And everybody started getting upset and weird. My dad got mad at me. And I didn't realize they couldn't see the guy until years later. I realized that was a ghost. Because the restaurant that we ate at used to be a mortuary in Toronto.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
And it's a famous, I don't know if it's called Sandy's or something. It's if you Google it, Toronto used to be mortuary. It's been a restaurant for a long time. I didn't know that was a ghost I was seeing. And he was sitting at the table staring at me like, you little brat kind of look. And I didn't like it because I wasn't being a brat, but I was after when nobody believed me. There was a creepy old guy staring at me.
Because you didn't know, because you were a kid.
I did not know. Nobody else could see him.
And nobody explained it to you, because when I was little and my stuff started, my mother kept her mouth shut. I was 5 years old. She waited till I was 13 to tell me about her and my grandmother. So up until then, she was like, don't worry about it. It's a bad dream. It's a bad dream. It's like, wow, people can have bad dreams during the day. Yeah. That's amazing. So I was this little kid and I was like, wow,
I could
cool.
see that, because if you're 5 or 6, that would be kind of a hard thing trying to tell a kid at 5 or 6, because
I don't falter for it.
13, 14, especially my daughter, she turned evil when she turned 12. You know, she turned evil. I mean, overnight, it was like night and day. She was a nice girl, then she after 12. So when is the perfect time to say, hey, you do have gifts, you know? That'd be hard to think of, right?
Well, I didn't, with my kids now, my kids are older. My daughter's about to turn 29 and my son is 26. And I didn't tell them a lot about it until I started this channel like 5 or 6 years ago. And all my life I had these experiences, but didn't realize there was people doing things that there might be a way to quantify it and share it with other people. So I started to explain it to them, but they had some experiences. Like my son went away about 4 years ago to Oklahoma with his ex-girlfriend to go to a family wedding. And he called me up at night because they had him sleeping on the couch out in the living room. And he was really upset. He's like, I'm laying here on the couch and they have a light down the hallway. And he says, this shadow figure literally came out, looked around, looked at him, and then went back. And he was so upset. He's like, what? How do I make that never happen again? He was so upset. And then my daughter has had some experiences, and I'm like, mommy is so sorry. Mommy wish she could leave you money, but this is what mommy has given you. And I just feel terrible, but it is what it is, you know?
It's not always ghosts too. Personally, for me, it's time travelers, it's aliens, it's loved ones that passed over, it's astral travelers. It's my boyfriend at the time was falling asleep and came to visit me. You know, it's remote viewing, which I do too. So it depends what it is. It could be residual energy too that you know could have happened in that place. It could have been the guardian, one of the guardians of the house, because the houses have their own spirit protectors too, which may or may not be human.
Now you said the word time travel, and that's awesome. Now, Dr. Wu down there, one day Dr. Wu went to his Facebook and saw that he doesn't even remember that he wrote down. Apparently, he wrote down the formula on how time travel works, but he doesn't remember
because you were channeling. You were channeling.
I have no memory. It was in again, it's a Mandela effect. I use that word as the phenomenon. I don't like to be called that. Been experiencing a lot of my history has changed. I mean, we're talking military history has changed. When I got out of the military, I got out in 1995. The government shut down around October. They had a big shutdown, and so everybody was like, so there's nobody at the MEPS to get me. I couldn't get out. I was stuck in the military. Yeah. And then I found out later on in my paperwork, I was like, wait a minute, now it's all changed, because in this reality now, the government only shut down in December for 6 days, and then it shut down in January for an extended period of time, completely different than what I experienced 100% of my life. So it's changed. And so when I went back Yeah, and I went back to my Facebook, all my social media postings, and I'm just shocked. What did I write? My desert island favorites. If I had, I'm like, when the hell did I write my? This is what I would do, and I'm writing about disasters. I wrote about CERN. I said there was no CERN back in 2009 when I was. I didn't write about it, and one of them was how to build a time machine, and I was like, I have the equation. I have it written out. I put it on a pillow. I made it into a pillow, and I hold it up, and it's on there. And I was like, huh. And so one of the gals in England I'm staying with has a daughter that's at the university, and she's a math person. She does all math. Over there they call it maths with an S.
Right.
And I showed it to her, and she says, "How did you know about this?" And she's like, "I'm confused, but basically it's talking about like a cone-shaped parallel universe."
Mm-hmm.
That I go, well, that's weird because I don't remember writing it, but it's explaining to me where we're at and what I'm telling myself.
Well,
So
two
I try to
things.
tell people, I said, this is what's going on.
You switched places with yourself from another dimension.
Yes, basically what it said.
Or if you, who was talking about this recently? If you astral travel, if you leave your body, then your body can be vulnerable, and somebody else comes in.
Yeah, I talk about walk-ins.
Walk-ins,
yeah.
right?
So
who are you, Dr. Wu?
Well, you could also be going through what I'm going through, a time loop, Mandela effect, or time loop, constant. Different. I don't never know which one I'm in, so I don't care anymore. I just go with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. I have a journal.
I love that.
My journal. In my journal, I work for the in my journal, I worked for the International Labor Organization with the UN, and I go, no, I didn't. I worked for. I freed. It was slavery. We had all these sex, slave, whatever things overseas, and we broke them up. We make sure we get people arrested. Yeah. For marketing, but there was nothing to do with there was no ILO, International Labor Organization. I was in the ILO. What the fuck is all?
Wow. So you were away somewhere while whoever was here was doing all this.
Yeah, so I'm in this place, and as I'm in this place in this avatar, and I've got the same logbooks, but they're different. My military history is different. I was on Klonopin back over there, and they made it illegal because it's highly addictive. This is about years ago when I got the service, Klonopin. They made it illegal, so nobody handed out Klonopin. In this reality, it turns out the Klonopin was never taken away from people, and some people are still using it. I go, huh?
Yeah,
wait, what?
I'm familiar with it.
Do you remember the show Sliders?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was multi-verses. That resonated with me 200% when I saw that show. I'm like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
Slider, Quantum Leap. I mean,
yes.
There's a show in the 80s called not the movie Time Bandits. Bob, that one with the kid and the grown up and the kid, and they had that little device where they got to go fix time.
Yeah. Yes.
There's the Explorers. Flight of the Navigator. Love that.
I love that one too, by the way. Yes, it's the same concept though. When they leave the guy behind, he left a clone behind to act as him, and it is him.
I know what you're talking about. The Last Starfighter.
No,
that's another good one.
The clone. He left his clone behind, and he
was
still
Starfighter. Yes, that's the clone behind. Eric, talking about the travelers, the wanderers, the somethingers. Voyagers. Yes, he had a watch.
He had the best movies and shows, you guys. The best.
He had that watch, and he'd check his watch, and it would be red. Beep, beep. It had like a globe on it, and he'd be beep, beep, red. He goes, oh, no, we need to fix something here.
Oh, my God. I never
watched Doctor Who, almost.
I never
the Time Lords. I have a rough time still because I'm still trying to figure out we're in Orion's ankle now, or we're in his belt. I have no idea. Now, when I was talking to you,
there it is.
Wow.
There it is.
See, there's that little device that he goes through time to fix what goes wrong. So something happens in time.
Oh, I know who that actor is.
In the 80s, he's not supposed to. He takes the kid with him by accident, and now they have to fix it while he's trying to take the kid back to his regular time.
Oh
He
my
didn't have a
goodness.
buckle. He didn't have a buckle. He had a red sash tied around his waist.
This will be a hell of a good remake, in my opinion.
I gotta see that. I had some changes on this.
John Eric Hexum, he's the guy that, he made
Was
a
that
mistake and hurt himself and went bye-bye. Yeah.
Was that aired at the same time? Greatest American Hero?
Yes.
Oh gosh, I remember
With
that
William
show. It was,
Cat? I loved that show.
Oh God, yeah.
It was a cute show.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on air.
I never thought I could be so free. Take it away.
You know, there's Shazam had a TV show in the 70s, 80s. Bob and I actually met the actor on a hunting trip.
Yes,
the
the real
who played
Shazam.
Shazam on a TV show.
The real Shazam.
Yes,
Shazam, yeah.
the real Shazam.
That's cool.
That was
Oh
really cool. Got his autograph. Cool.
But the Greatest American Hero, you're right, it was fantastic because it's about UFOs. A UFO that came, gave him a suit, and he lost the instructions. So he has to learn this suit without the instructions. So he doesn't know how to fly. He doesn't know how to use none of these gifts. It's like a comedy in a way, but he works with an FBI agent. But it's so awesome because he has the power of Superman, but he just doesn't know how to use it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's a school teacher.
There were some of them are on YouTube for free. You could watch them.
Oh,
I
yeah,
got
a
the
lot
whole
of it.
season. I got the DVDs.
Yeah.
Bonus.
Yeah. I've been watching all the old movies and see if they have. I can't stop now. I'm gonna see if there's any changes. See what's different in this one from what I remember.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just went through that with Tom Cruise movie Oblivion. When I saw it, I watched it many times when it came out. And the way it ended, no spoilers, avert your ears if you didn't see it. At the end, it was now I can't remember. It was a little boy. And then when I saw it again recently, it was a little girl. And I was screaming. I was screaming at the going, no, that is not how the movie. I saw it 13 times years ago. Now I'm watching it again, and the ending is different.
You saw Oblivion that many times? I saw it. I wish I'd written it.
Because it was on, like, we had movie time. We had the channels wherever you would switch on a channel.
Is that another movie based on a Philip Dick story? I think it is. He's made a few. Minority Report is from Philip Dick. And
love Minority Report.
Blade Runner, of course, is I'm a Blade Runner.
Me too.
Junkie. The original one, not that awful second thing.
Oblivion, go back and get yourself, I'm not saying drink, but this is just the story. Get yourself a bottle and a shot. And every time you see 13 in Oblivion take a shot, I guarantee you're wasted before the show is out.
Right.
He's like, his thing is 40, it's 49, 13. And then he goes to this one little area. It's a simple number. It's like 80. Was it 85?
Yep. There's 13. A lot of
I was like 13. 13. I was like, how many times can there be another 13 and another 13?
I gotta look this up. Hang on.
Actually, kind of, they didn't know it, but they actually telling the future because, like, a lot of people talk about the Matrix movie. I go, no, the original Matrix movie is Tron.
Right?
I tell people that's the original Matrix movie, going into the AI, going into the computer world and stuff. And like it's like Tron predicted the future, and like AI, artificial intelligence is growing. And
they have made so many adaptations of Philip Dick's work, and I am a huge fan of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which is the story that Blade Runner is based on. But I'm just looking to see if Oblivion, Minority Report, we know that's based on Total Recall. Recall.
I love the original.
His story, We Can Remember It For You Wholesale. That is Total Recall. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep is Blade Runner.
You need to type in his name. Now get this. Next to his name, type in talk and put down his name, Dick, and then his full name, and then put down in Paris talks about the Matrix, like in little parentheses. And he talks about the Matrix, and there's a whole clip I've watched the clip of him in Paris on camera at his desk, and he's telling people straight up that I wrote a particular book that I wrote, a story I wrote. The protagonist was about this gal, blah 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 blah. And then he said, after it was all done, he said he shut the door. It was a knock on his door. He opens his door. and there's a lady standing there, and it's the exact description of everything he wrote up on. And he started to realize that in his life, he's noticing that things that he wrote were coming to pass.
Oh wow!
And he's got to hear him
lived
say
in a
it.
loop, and you come back and you're in another loop. You're already gonna maybe not be psychic. You're just remembering the other loop.
He talked about that. All the things that he's writing is now coming to pass. He's witnessing them. And he says that we basically one of the first guys you ever hear talk about. We live in a simulated matrix. And he gives the speech. It's on YouTube. You guys can look it up.
Look it up. I will look it up later.
And we even had a small and Eric, there are clips all over YouTube. We can even take it if you find it and then put it on, and you guys will be blown away when he talks about it. Everybody, the reporters are looking at each other like, "What is he? This is real. He's really saying this stuff." And I'm like, "Wow, he's describing the Mandela effect phenomenon we're experiencing now." And this is the 70s, and he's explaining to people exactly what they're experiencing right now.
Now, you guys mentioned Screamers. You mentioned something called Screamers.
Screamers. I remember that's a sci-fi movie. Yeah.
That's based on a story of his called Second Variety. That's also Philip Dick. And so is A Scanner Darkly. That's from him too. Wow.
I couldn't watch the movie with Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder because the shaking, it made me nauseous.
Which movie?
A Scanner Darkly.
Oh, Scanner Darkly.
Because they filmed it and then put like art, cartoon on it.
Yes.
And it made me, it messed with my third eye.
Yeah.
It made me ill and I couldn't watch it.
Wow.
Oh, totally going off on another tangent, but one of my favorite movies that I saw my husband clicked past it the other day is Donnie Darko. Have you guys ever seen
Love
that?
it. Watched it again like a month ago.
I love that movie.
Yeah. No director's cut. I always tell people, do not watch the director's cut. It ruins the movie. You watch the regular one.
Yeah, it's a good movie though.
I don't like the director's cut.
That's a dark rabbit hole. You want to watch it and you're like,
yes.
Okay, now I need a shot. I need a drink.
I watch my favorite movies every couple of years because every time I see it, it's a different perspective and it's new to me. It's different. Familiar, different.
Yeah.
But
what
different.
You saw as a child, you will not see the same way as an adult.
What do you think about all these movies now are all messing with the multiverse? And now it's like the multiverse is huge because there's so many more multiverse
part of our vocabulary
coming out.
Multiverse.
Yeah.
It's all
everything.
Art imitates life. Life imitates art. It's happening now, then, and future at the same time.
Well, have you guys ever seen the movie Paul?
Yes.
Oh, that alien.
I've been around for years, and they show Paul on the phone with Spielberg or Coppola or whatever. He's like, no, and everything they've done.
I just watched Paul again last week.
It's a great movie. We love it.
Yeah, it's been one. That's funny you guys are talking about that because I keep skipping by and I've been wanting to watch. I'm a big Seth Rogen fan. I like my marijuana. I don't take any painkillers. I stopped taking opiates. 2016.
All the alien smokes weed in that movie.
Yeah. So I only use CBDs for pain and marijuana. So I'm a big advocate for it. So I like those kind of stoner movies. So it made me laugh.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Yeah. But here's the question: as an anthropologist, I have to ask, and this is really important because you've probably been asked this before, and it's nothing bad. The big question, here it goes. I'll start with Tanji. Tanji, did you have I forgot there's an acronym for it, but have you ever had a life-death experience where near death? A lot of people.
I've died.
Okay.
Maybe 3 times. I know twice for sure, but possibly a 3rd time. Yes.
That's the big one. A lot of people with
how you know you died. I'm just curious. Like how do you know that you actually died and came back?
Let's hear it.
Okay, well, the most recent one I remember 32 and a half years ago, I got horribly burnt by the sun, developed myasthenia gravis, and massive radiation, exposure because I didn't wear sunscreen. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, but anyway, it killed me. But I was put on an incubator. And everything just shuts down. Your muscles stop working. They fight each other. And I wasn't born with it. And the doctors thought I was. And I said, no, I got so badly burnt by the sun. I had boils, They didn't want to listen to me. I was 17. So they didn't listen, and they treated me for the MG as if I was born with it, where a thymus gland stays in you when you're in your teens. So they went in to go take out the thymus gland, which wasn't there because I wasn't born with MG. I got it from radiation from the sun. Yeah. And so they accidentally severed a vocal nerve, and I couldn't speak for a year. And it was big traumatic thing. But I saw everything as an adventure. But when I was in the hospital, before they took the thymus gland out, that's why I'm breathy. So if I'm doing that, it's only because of the operation. I'm fine. Just fine. Everything's good. But it left me. I mean, hello, happy birthday, Mr. President.
Yeah.
But I talk, people go, are you okay? Calm down. I'm like, no, it's the way I talk. So when the second time my lungs collapsed, because you need your muscles for your lungs, myasthenia gravis, your muscles attack themselves. So the lungs collapsed. I was in the hospital. And I remember distinctly the first time it happened. It caved in. If you've ever had that feeling where you can't breathe. And I saw this angel come out of nowhere. This man who to me was an angel, nurse, put the breathing thing on me, and the doctors were talking, and he just stared at me in my eyes, and I could telepathically hear him say, "It's okay." And I passed out. I woke up 3 or 4 days later, hooked up to this Darth Vader machine, tubes and everything. I thought it was cool. I'm a weird space nerd. Cool. My family was traumatized, and they're like, but I thought this is pretty cool. I'm living in a science fiction movie. I had no fear of it, but it happened again shortly after, because they kept treating me for the wrong kind of MG. And when it happened again, go home, lungs collapse, come back to the hospital. I drifted off, and I remember screaming out in my head, "Okay, universe, it's up to you. I trust you. Bye." And then I woke up, 3 or 4 days later again, and I had visions of, when you wake up from a dream and you're having something important and you remember the glimpse of it, but you don't remember the context. Yes. That's what it was like. And they showed me things. Basically, it was, you're not done yet. You still got things to do, but you got extra gifts now. You leveled up, play a video game. And, your guy dies, but you come back on the next level and you level up. So when I woke up, I had always had my abilities, but because I couldn't talk for a year, the senses went wide open. Powers. And I died twice. And like I said, I might have died more. I'm like a 9 lives kind of gal. But it was a positive experience for me. I can only speak for me. It enhanced me. It enhanced my abilities. And I remember bits and pieces of meeting the little alien elders, meeting ancestors, meeting beings I couldn't see, but I knew they were there. And I don't remember the dialogue because I hate it when I do this, but I chose to forget. They gave me an option. I remember that I chose to forget what we talked about. And I was so mad when I woke up, but my higher self knew what I was doing. You're so open and clear thinking when you're not stuck in your 3D body. Yeah. So I trusted that. I went, okay, well, I trust myself. Yeah. And then but when you know things, you don't know exactly what it is, but you know that you know. So I woke up knowing that I had died, passed over. It wasn't long. It was like 30 seconds, maybe a little longer. And they had problems, when nobody thought I was going to live. I'm stubborn AF. So when I came conscious too, they were like, the second time, you could see in the nurse's face, like, oh, she's alive. Okay.
Oh, goody.
And so you keep with you. It's like, for me, it was like a superpower opened up. It was already there. Yeah. But I was okay with it. I was okay. I had to go to the other side. I had to die for 30 seconds to experience something, to get, the knowledge. You have to go to the end of the driveway to go check your mail. You're not going to get the mail unless you leave the house and go to the end of the driveway and get your mail. Once you get the mail, you got it, and you go back home. You go in your house. You have something because you left to go get it. So when I woke up and I came to, I was 17 at the time, and I felt like I was aged, not externally, but internally, 20 years. I felt it. You know, like if you look back in your mind right now and go 20 years ago, oh, I learned a lot since then. You know, that feeling you have now is different than 20 years ago. You know, you have a different knowledge weight.
Well, yeah, once you leave your body, you're on the other side. At 20 years, was like, it'd be 5 minutes over here. But
it was like 3 days.
Yeah, you spent 20 years over there as a 17-year-old. So you came back probably as like a 30-something, but then you chose to forget about it. So then you're back being a kid again in your kid brain going, but I feel older.
Like John Carter.
You get me, right? You get it. It's true.
Yeah, I've had that experience. That's why I know exactly what you're
saying. You make you think, you wonder, you ask yourself, have I died once before? Because you think about it, because like Bob and I both have weird things happen to us in life. Like, my mom, she left when I was a baby, but before she left, she was on drugs. She wrecked the car, and I flew out of the car as a baby. Somehow I survived.
Wow.
Bob was on a motorcycle with 2 other people, which they're idiots. You didn't have 3 people on a motorcycle. They went off a cliff. And Bob lived. I mean, it's sometimes you wonder, did I actually live or?
Wow.
Yeah, you probably died. Absolutely. I would say so.
I know I did. And in fact, it's kind of funny because we all have different memories. I'm with the person now that I was on the bike with that went off the cliff. And I remember clear as day, a boulder coming off the side of the mountain, rolling into the road, and then the bike hitting it. I remember it clear as I'm talking to you right now. This person was like my age. He says, no, man, it was a car. Don't you remember? He knew the make, the name of the car. He knew everything about the car. He saw the car. I said, no, dude, there was no car on this road. It was closed off. That's why we were riding on it safely until a boulder rolled down. Different memory. Like Eric talks about, our mom was on drugs. And my memory, she was not on drugs. The truck driver was drunk, and she was sober. But Eric's correct in this timeline.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, he was a baby.
Memory is a funny thing, though. Memory is a funny thing. So
a lot of different memories, a lot of different. Well, my family now, I'm like, we're still having problems. Like, I don't remember it like that. I remember it like this.
Right, but also our mind goes back and kind of softens things, changes it to something that makes it easier for us to take sometimes, or hides things. So memory it's an organic living thing, our memory, and it's our brain thinking, I'm going to take care of this brain here so that it doesn't suffer too much. It can change things.
It's kind of good because if you died, you don't have to remember that suffering part. When I was running up I was a kid. I've actually in my life I've had bullets come by me. I heard the whistle. I could die now. Like one of my bucket lists. You ever heard a bullet actually in the movies? No, you ever hear a bullet go by your ear? It makes this high piercing whistle by your ear, and it thumped in a tree behind me. And I said, "That was me. Wow. That should have been me." I don't know if it was or not. I don't know.
But do you believe because people have near-death experience, they saw something, and when they're back, that it enhances whatever abilities they have to even more, because you sense what the other side is almost about?
Mm-hmm. Plus, you also have you have no fear when you're there, but you're here for whatever reason. Everyone's different, just like you have a job from somebody else. It's different. No 2 people do the same exact thing. It's slightly different or completely different. So when you're there, you're having a completely different experience.
Right.
It's different environment. It might be like the Men in Black airport, where they walk in and there's like 50 different species and they're all working together. Hey, Stan.
Yeah.
Oh,
good. You're glad the lady's well. And it looks like that's normal, and that could be over on the other side, but you don't remember, or you choose not to remember, for either A, you can't handle it when you come back, you go crazy, and then you end up in an institution, not because you're nuts, because your human brain can handle what you experienced, or you I forgot what I was going to say, but you block it out because it's too much, or you choose to forget because you don't want to be sidetracked from why you're here.
Right.
So there could be different reasons.
Right.
Don't forget, when you dream, you're in a different world.
Yeah.
Now,
you are alive and everything's real to you.
Let me tell you about this gift. This guy here named Texas Danny. He's a good friend of our channel forever. Texas Danny has a gift ability where he sees land changes. He's saying
he does.
Continents, how they look differently now, where the rivers are bigger or smaller.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he draws it all the time. He does his YouTube channel. He shows drawings and
cartography,
everything he's seeing.
Wow,
he was in the military. He learned all this stuff in the military, and I was in the Navy, so I know what he's talking about. So when he puts out a video about a land shifting or moving in a certain direction to a new spot, he always sends me a thing, take a look, dude. And I take a look, and I said, 100% confirmed, Danny. I see the change, too. Holy shit, this fucking whole continent just moved to the left. Holy cow.
Yeah.
You can see it, too. Yeah, but
you know, people have different kind of gifts, or they're channeling it differently than
right.
Have you ever had a moment where you've accidentally gotten, electrocuted or hit by something, and then you have an ability or something temporarily?
I've been electrocuted several times.
Okay, so if you continue on that, you'll strengthen it, and it won't leave. You'll always have it. I have the poly effect, and also the some people, you see magnets. I can have magnets stick to me too, but some people are really magnetized.
Yeah.
And, you see the effect of stuff, and they can't go out. It's very hard for them, but because they experienced something. So whatever you have or whatever you've experienced, take a moment to go with it. If you're comfortable, and be safe, of course. But if you don't fear, like, oh, I see a black mass crossing my bed. Don't fear.
Been there, done that.
Right? What if it's your grandfather trying to come through, but because you don't give him permission to come through, he's all fuzzy and black?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just like, all of a sudden, I can't hear in my right ear. That's so weird.
You're awesome.
Well, right now?
Yeah. Like.
Oh, you might have I've been experiencing just recently real bad. They call it tinnitus, but it's been like a pressure.
Me too.
Like.
Yeah, I've been going. It's been active for the last week, really bad. And I have noticed, and I'm just saying, I'm not putting them together, but for me, I am. Whenever I notice there's some changes, like some serious changes in history happen, I always go back and say, oh, I remember I was late. There was a massive, like, air pressure in my ear, like you're going at high altitude pressure, and I'll be deaf in one ear for a little bit, and finally it comes back.
It's always my right ear I have problems with.
What happens to me, and it's like getting worse, that what happens to me is that when I have spirit contact, I get what I call a cone of silence. And all of a sudden I'm in a vacuum, and the vacuum is starting to form around me, and it's really weird. It's like discomforting. You know what I mean?
See, for me, my ears are fucked up, so I don't even know if it's bad or not. People drums and ears have a little space. Mine doesn't. My drums actually is skin on skin. So, so when I'm on an airplane, it really hurts like hell.
Oh God.
It is what it is, right? I mean,
Eric's a funny story. They told my dad. The doctors told my dad tells the whole story growing up. They told my dad, we have bad news. Your son, he's not going to be able to hear. He's going to be deaf. He's not going to hear. And my dad's going, keep talking. And my dad's just sitting there, he's just what he is. He's like, keep going. And then he shouts out, hold on, Eric, get in here. And Eric's like, okay. He walks in. He goes, go ahead and tell me how deaf he is. The doctor's like, it's impossible. He can't hear. There's no way he could hear. And Eric was like they said he can't. There's nothing there.
That's so funny.
They sent me to another school because the teachers thought I was slow because I wouldn't answer them. So instead of checking me out with doctors and stuff, they just sent me to another school. Brilliant. So I go to another school, And this this teacher's like, he's pretty smart. What do you mean he's slow? They actually decided to check my ears. They noticed that there's damages. There are scar tissues and all this.
Was that because you were a baby and you flew out the car?
The
That's
window.
a question.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yeah.
We don't know where it comes from. Oh shit.
What's that?
When you lose one sense, your others gain.
It's Connor.
Yeah.
Hi.
There's Connor.
Hi, Connor.
Yeah, I had to go to a whole new school because they thought I was dumb without realizing I wasn't dumb. I just couldn't hear what they were saying.
Oh God.
Couldn't hear.
That's silly.
Do you ever get that when you meet somebody and you can't understand their name and it's a normal name like, Karen, but for some reason the energy is blocking you from hearing what they're saying?
Yeah.
I had that with people who have frequencies I'm not supposed to mess with because they're not good for me. Like a principal of a school years ago when my kids went to, she was not a good person. And my energy was protecting me. My guides were saying, we're going to let you know you should not deal with this woman. And so when I asked her name, she had to say it 4 or 5 times. And I felt like an idiot. I'm like, I'm sorry. How do you spell? What is your name? And all I heard was, I couldn't hear. I think it was Carla. I don't even know.
Like the Peanuts cartoon.
My energy was protecting me from her, right?
Right.
I couldn't understand that. I understood everything she said except her name. Because that was, certain things when I hear stuff and then it goes wrong, 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 I know that that's the universe or my guides protecting me.
Right, because a name is a very important thing, like in the paranormal.
Right.
A demon,
demonology and stuff
doesn't want to tell you their name, and it's very rare to make demon contact. But the little I know is they don't want to tell you their name.
It's probably a demon.
Because knowing their name gives you control. Wow. And I don't know what else it does.
Well, I mean, you're correct. I mean, in the world of anthropology, people don't understand it. And especially I try to explain to Christians. I go, they're talking about, oh, you guys are wizards or you're practicing witchcraft and these people are bad. I go, you don't understand how actual magic works. What is your name? What is your name, sir? Well, my name is so-and-so the third. Your name is magic. Your name has power. Your name has a meaning. Your parents chose it because it meant young wolf. And now that young wolf is bestowed upon you as a name. It's a name. It's magic. And you're the third generation of your father. So you're taking on your father's magic. So you understand your name is a spell. The color of the clothes you wear, you get up in the morning, you choose Argyle socks.
Right.
Argyle socks is a spell because I'm sitting here, I've got high waters on and I'm smoking the pot. And then here comes Connor and he's looking over. Dude's got funny ass Argyle socks. You can't help to have a conversation with me because the spell is working. Right. And then we're gonna have a talk, and then we end up getting high together because I'm wearing Argyle socks.
Argyle socks.
They work.
They are pretty magical.
You had to get Argyle.
I love Argyle socks.
That's magic. So I always tell people, don't condemn magic because everything, music, cups, the flowers on this, the certain patterns. Everything is sacred geometry. Everything is magic, right down to the hot dog.
Well, I think part of the magic is that what people don't realize when they discount themselves is that everything you do, every moment, everything goes off in directions. I do this, then we go this way. I do this, then we go that way. I do this, then we go that way. You're changing the world every time you open your mouth, move about the cabin, interact with other people, everything you do. And it's all about choices. Today I choose A or B, I go B. Then B opens me up to C and D, I do D. Yes. Everything. Don't ever discount your place in the universe is what I'm trying to say.
The higher the vibration, the more options.
I'm trying to watch this, and those 2 eyes on top of the squares. It's the on my own thumbnail in the back. 2 black eyes to do 2 eyes. You guys see it on the screen?
Yes. Oh, yes. I see them. I
emailed you the alien photos, by the way.
I like the water above me. You're welcome. Yes, she sent them to the email that I corresponded with you earlier. That one. Okay. Eric. So
And you can what do you call that? I always forget. Saturate it when you make it so it looks like an X-ray. You'll see the back, the bushes and the trees.
like invert it kind of thing.
Yeah, invert it.
Invert it, yeah.
And you'll see their solid mass in their spine.
That's crazy. Look at him. Look, oh my God.
Gordon.
Look at him. She took this picture over her shoulder as she was going into the house.
Held my breath.
It was one of her aliens.
That's chilling. That looks exactly like all the movie aliens, you know. But that detail is something you can't fake.
Well, to me, because of my, what my guides were telling me, that's a suit. That is like a space suit.
Now this is the other guy, and he's looking over his shoulder or something, right?
Jelly.
He's
gelatinous, like a jellyfish.
Mm.
Yeah. We didn't feel any danger or threat or anything, my daughter and I. And prior to us going out that night to take photos for like months, for like 8 or 9 months, every time we'd go in at night to our cabin door, we would see a flash above us. And I jokingly said, it's just a spaceship. Don't worry about it. My daughter's very, very psychic and a teenager, so extra hormones. So she would see the aliens walking by her window. I would see the lights and the energy.
Well, when I'm looking at it, it's like, here's the nose, and there's like a line that goes down, 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 like
I
caught him, kind of a tube.
She caught half of him.
Like he went, and I caught half.
Now that's his eye, right? That's an eye.
The whole thing. Yeah, he's got like his.
It's a big
helmet
eye.
Cranium. Then I think it's like lens. I think it's a suit.
Oh.
So. Okay. You see what like a protective. If you see that movie with the little girl,
so he could be humanoid.
He could be, but that's a suit.
Oh, we don't know.
There's a movie that shows that at the end where people think that they're aliens, but they're humans in special, really cool science suits. Is it Nim? It's something where the girl, she cries on a bunny teddy bear, and they take it in the future, and from her DNA, the new kids can be born and they're psychic children.
Oh wow.
Something Nim.
I don't know.
It's a really good movie. There's a scene in them where the boy and the girl, the young adults are wearing, and it looks just like that.
Oh wow.
And the lenses protect them.
Oh, I think about Insidious.
No, it's like a Disney movie. Something Nim, not The Secret of Nim. Mims. It's a live action movie. It's not a cartoon.
I don't know it.
A brother and his sister, and the boy's being tested for psychic abilities. He's disappointed that it's not him. His sister is the psychic one, and she cries. The doll she has, like a teddy bear or bunny plushie, absorbs her tear and gets the DNA, and that saves humanity in the future.
Oh wow!
It's a good movie, and I can't remember. I'm horrible at names, you guys.
There's a Nim's Island.
No, but that's a good movie.
And then there's the one where there's a spaceship, the cat from outer. No,
the chat from Mimsy.
That was the first book I ever read, and then I saw the movie when I was 8.
Mimsy?
Cat from outer space. Mimsy, the Mimsy. Thank you. That's it. It's such a good film, you guys.
Oh, somebody said it.
Yeah.
Mimsy.
Yes.
Michael Haywood and Danny Stanton. We know we can count on those two.
Thank you.
Sweet.
Oh, it's good. I should watch it again. It's been a long time. But that's the scene in the movie when I looked at that and I went, oh, that's Gordon. That's what you're seeing is an alien, but what's really in it? Just like you see a spaceship, but who's driving it?
Is Gordon what you call your alien from that picture?
Gordon's the one I call like that. He's always around. He's
Gordon.
And then great. Jelly was Jelly's taller. The gelatinous one in front of the tree that's doing like that.
The Mimsy. Oh, there it is.
Mimsy.
There,
Hellraiser box. Looks like the Hellraiser thing.
Oh, God.
Of course, Eric. There's the teddy bear.
Yeah.
Oh, teddy bear.
It's a bunny.
Teddy bears are in all movies now.
It's a bunny.
Oh, is that a bunny? That's a bunny.
Oh, that's a bunny.
Okay,
Right.
shoot, it's not a teddy bear.
It's a bunny.
It's a bunny. Yeah, it's
that's
a
very interesting about the suits, though, just because, we've always seen the gray aliens and that's their look. And that's what people, think that's their creature. But if it's a suit, that just opens up the possibilities and so much more. It's like, oh,
Yes.
is it you? Are you Gordon? Or is it another?
Exactly.
Or is it another type of humanoid? Who the heck knows? Yeah, is it time travel or mind travel?
Why do they need the suit? Why do they need the suit?
Because it's like the ultimate. You can go through time and space and quantum tectonic plates or whatever it's called without having radiation or distortion.
Gotcha. See that, and that's my worry with these aliens. They're smarter than us.
So if you saw our technology 1,000 years in the future and realized we're the aliens, you'd go, "Why didn't I buy stock in Apple back in 2022?"
So you're saying hot tub time machine is
right? Google,
Motley Lou.
The biggest problem would be bugs, viruses. They would wear the suit for the virus because they're not part of this planet. They're not from. They don't have or realm, as we say, the flat Earth community of the realm, and so they're not. They don't have any immunities to the viruses that every other creature in this dimension has that they do not have, and they can die. It's probably why everybody's getting zapped.
If they're from the future and they came back specifically to this time, although I cannot imagine why they would, and they came back, they knew we were having this issue, and they're wearing their anti-C suit.
Sure, yeah.
Like, let's go back and see everybody suffering.
Well, there's tears too, and sometimes whether it's purpose or unintentional, there's a tear in time. You have to go back and maybe do a mending or observe something. There's a reason to go. I mean, you see human footprints millions of years ago next to dinosaurs, and then the Purgatory one that is actually carbon dated to 4 million years ago. Time traveler. Land of the lost.
Oh God!
Yeah, I believe it. I wrote an equation on it, so I know it exists. I did it myself. I know how it works.
One of you did it.
One of me did it.
We don't know which one.
I hate flat earthers relax when I use things as labels. It's from where I'm from. The Sagittarius is me. That's why I call myself. But the Orion spur version is rodent, because the Sagittarian me is a complete just fool. I mean, what? I don't know what an Eigen value. I didn't know what my equation had Eigen value. You check the matrix, the Eigen value, and I'm like, what's an Eigen? I had to look. I was with a teacher in England. I said, you know what an Eigen? Who was also experiencing the phenomenon Mandela effect. I said, you know what an Eigen value is? This person goes, I teach math. I don't know what an Eigen. So we had to look it up. It's how you measure the matrix. And I go, measure the matrix? What the fuck? So we're measuring the scene
from the movie, Eric. I just found it.
Oh, cool. See it.
It's 30 seconds.
Okay.
Let's see it.
Sorry to interrupt. I didn't want to forget. If I didn't tell you, I would have forgotten.
Somebody else was in Bob's body.
Getting burnt by
for an extended period of time.
Apparently. It wasn't me.
Well, it might have been another you or a walk-in.
Yeah, it did the same thing, similar, but not exactly.
Have you ever felt like you have astral projected?
Oh, I have.
Oh,
that's I actually when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was laying on my back and I woke up, my eyes opened up and my face was on the ceiling. Like my face is up on the, that popcorn ceiling you have, the old popcorn.
I've felt the exact same thing. I know exactly what you're talking about. You were out of your body. No, you were out of your body. And at one point you must have done it and a walk-in got in. And came and made all those posts.
Could be your guide protected you and went in. That's happened to me. When my parents tried to wake me up when I was 13 and my eyes went open and said, Tangi's not here right now. Now it's my shaman.
Yeah. There is no Tangi, only Zoom.
Only Zoom.
So are we ready for Alien Disguise Unmasked 06?
Yes.
Okay.
Ready to Garden of Eden.
You see that?
I like that.
Looks completely alien, but what's underneath?
That
Ron
was the
Weasley.
Mimsy?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That was the
Pretty
Mimsy.
consistent.
That was Mimsy.
Yes.
I haven't
Mim-
watched that. I've never
Wow.
seen that. Mimsy.
12
Okay.
Monkeys. Just Danny is mentioning 12 Monkeys.
That's
I
12
good.
I
Monkeys.
tried to watch that movie and my brain got so twisted. I was like, no, I gotta shut this off. I can't do this.
My favorite
It's-
part is just when Bruce Willis's character is just like breathing in all the fresh air, and they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "This is the cleanest the air's been," you know. And I always think that, like today, tomorrow, you know, breathe deep, like because in 20 years from now, we're probably gonna be living in those tanks and stuff.
Wearing those suits, looking like aliens.
Yup. So get your Bruce Willis breath on right now, Danny. Love it.
Well, Danny,
Yep.
Bruce Willis and Looper was pretty good too. Looper is a pretty
Yeah.
good time travel movie
Oh, for
where
sure.
they send people from the future so you kill them in the past.
Well, there's one out by Hawk something. Oh, I can't remember.
Predestination.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, crazy. It's good.
Isn't that
A lot
funny,
of
Bob? You were just thinking about it, and I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. Right there. You
That's
know what
pretty
the
good.
kicker in that movie is? That's the
I know.
kicker that they're really kicking our country with right now.
Yeah. I barely gave any description too. You're like, boom, got it. Yeah, that one. Yeah, good call.
You said Hawk, so I knew it. But I
Yeah,
knew it.
yeah.
Before you said Hawk, I knew it. I knew it because I was thinking it too. I would not do it. You
My
guys
husband
all
keeps
witnessed it.
watching. My husband keeps
Woo is
watching
real.
Future War. Future War. He keeps watching that
I've
one.
heard of it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you watched it, Cynthia?
Well, as he's watching it, I haven't sat down purposely to watch it. When they take them into the future to fight them.
Yes, the alien
Amazon
invasion.
Prime movie with
But you know which
Star
one?
Wars.
I like Interstellar.
Interstellar is wonderful.
Okay.
Wow.
Interstellar is very cool.
Yeah,
Very-
and it can overlap into. I was my flat Earth friends. It can overlap into your world too because they're just going into dimensions. There you
Oh,
go.
Right.
Hey,
Just relax. There you go.
It's
I
crazy.
represent, the dome and all that. And if I can get
Yeah.
down with Interstellar, then everybody else can. I think Interstellar shows that space is nothing like linear, Once you get outside this realm, it gets weird. And I love that. It's Murphy's Law, man. Who was the voice in the books in the library? It was Matthew McConaughey.
So
Baby,
cool.
baby.
It's
You got
so
a
cool.
joint? It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
A
all
lot
correct.
cooler if you did.
Cool.
Well, I must
One of
get
his
going, but
famous
this has
quotes.
been wonderful.
Yeah, I
Thank you
gotta
very
go too.
much.
No, this is our end time anyway. Usually
End time.
2 hours is about it. So
This is
usually
it.
what we do is we let people go around the table say, they got a show coming up, they got something they're gonna be doing, because I know, Cynthia, I put your link of your channel in my description, so it's in there.
Thank you.
So what do you got coming up on your channel?
Well, I am actually heading out on the road on the 12th. I'm heading south for an extended trip, and I'm going to be doing hopefully some live streams from some cool places while I'm down there, and be gathering some video too. And I'm going to be doing some members only behind the scenes stuff for members on my channel. So so I'm going to be looking for some cool cemeteries and other haunted places while I'm going up and down the East Coast for a couple of weeks.
Nice.
That is awesome.
Bravo.
Yeah. Looking forward to it.
Have fun.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Now, do you have a channel yourself?
Yes, I have Roman Biscotti. I'll tape it in.
I have to.
This
That's
is
her channel.
me, Tangy.
And she does wonderful readings.
Roman Biscotti is my alter ego,
Yeah.
alien intergalactic DJ, and she lives in a spaceship above my house. So most of the videos, all of them are her, but I do my live third eye readings. I did keep one up from yesterday. I delete those shortly after. I don't keep them up. It's Roman's channel. Plus also energy changes. And I go when my guides say, okay, it's been up for a few hours or it's been up for a day, delete or hide it. And I do. I tell people to take notes when they get readings, and the readings are free. People can donate if they want, but if they guess a
Is this
number
it
to
right
get
here?
a reading, or if they're
That's it. Yep. That's Roman. That's her.
And let me just
Nice.
throw that link, because I don't have you in the description, but I'll add it after the show. I'll edit after the show.
I do random. I never really know when I'm going to come on doing readings, but yeah.
Just follow her. Just follow her channel.
And then come on over and say hi. And I always have the instructions in the description because I don't like to go by questions. Right. I go by third eye energy, and it's in the description.
And Roma's got some fun videos up too.
Yeah, there's the newest one, the live third eye free readings. Yeah, if they watch that, they'll understand how I do what I do and why I do it, and embrace the woo and don't be scared. It's all good. All are welcome. Yeah,
that's awesome. So Bob, what do you got coming up?
Oh, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I stopped knowing things a long time ago. I wake up. I don't want to give the Matrix an excuse to get in my way. So I do things spontaneously. In fact, I don't think about anything anymore. I'm going through. I'm practicing. I'm practicing not thinking.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I like that. I wish I could get to that point. I do.
It's hard because life keeps wanting to slap you. The Matrix reminds you that you're still a participant in this reality and in this game. That's why you stub your toe. Now that guy stops in front of you and you hit them or whatever. Something happens. It always reminds you. I just laugh it off now. Yeah.
That's right.
Paranormal New York channel. I'm just putting the link into the chat too.
Well, thank you. You're very sweet. Thank you for having me up.
Yes, thank you.
Tangi too. This is awesome.
No, I appreciate it. I mean, this is late for you both. You're on the East Coast.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. I gotta go to bed. But I had a really cool live stream the other night. So about that.
Awesome.
Which I was on too.
Yes, right.
Cynthia has me and Ray and other guests on. Please check out Cynthia, you guys, if you don't know who she is. She's amazing.
I'm okay.
You're amazing.
And girl, my best to have a breaking news tomorrow. I have actually nothing ready for it. But after the show, I'm going to work on it. It's going to be at 11 a.m. if I do have it because I got to get stuff together. I had too many things that I'll get something together. Don't worry. Because the chatting cowboy in the chat told me he got me a gift, and it's at the P.O. Box address.
Nice.
Very good.
I'm going to go and get the gift. I'm going to open it up on a breaking news tomorrow.
Oh,
I just got to get some videos together. So
I will try to watch.
What do you got coming up?
Tomorrow I'm going to be on Squatch America. It's going to be awesome conversation. They are a couple that live out of an RV and do a lot of Sasquatch research. I've been on one of their call-in shows, but now I'm a featured guest, so that'll be really cool.
Nice.
I was just on D.A. Roberts' show, Ex Machina. It was awesome chatting with, the author of the Steve Lilly journals. He's definitely a pillar in this community. It was really funny, rocking his socks off. He was like, oh my gosh, your energy's just crazy. I was getting a lot of weird computer interference, and I was thinking of Dr. Wu, of course. They were saying it was a storm, but I knew it was a storm with something a little bit bigger. But I'm going to be part of the next Bigfoot Odyssey 168. I see a couple of my teammates in the chat. I'm also going to probably be at Flat Rock Boogers, big camp out that they're orchestrating in the camp as well, the chat camp. But again, I have my my first book. Well, I put out all 4 of my books, but then Beyond the Fray is republishing all 4, and we just put on the final touches of Eerie Swamp. So live and new edition coming out within the week. I'm really proud of it.
Nice.
Again, I drop new videos every day on TikTok. We're at like 53,000 followers, 10 million views. So let's hit 100 million views and 100,000 followers soon. I go live every single day on there. I'm hiking tomorrow at Torreya State Park, which is where Stacey Brown got the skunk ape footage. I'm hopefully going alone, which is going to be nice and challenging. So, hey, this might be the last live broadcast. Yes. I might pop in again from the field with Eric on the breaking news if it times up. But I'm definitely going to be getting footage. And the Void Cat is actually doing very well in this new film festival that it's on demand. And I guess it's going through the roof. So watch my movies. Zillafoot for free on Amazon Prime. It is so outrageous, but it's a cult classic. You'll be proud of my parts at least. Half Godzilla, half Bigfoot, and then the Void Cat. the famous werewolf movie that I'm the main character in. Crazy creative stuff. We filmed a gnome short film recently, but it's really crazy production. So hopefully a couple more weeks till that's out. But again, just every single day, new things on the horizon, and just breaking the ice in this world. And lovely ladies, thanks for joining us, Goofy Goons, on this night. I wish I could have showed up a little earlier, but we all got crazy things going, man. And I'm just to the future.
That was a lot of fun.
Beyond that, you guys, everybody have a good night.
Everybody, thank you so much. Good night.